Namasarvebhyaha. So I shall continue my series, this time span in Hinduism. See, no other texts, religious texts, gives the beautiful, the perfect time span. I'm really wondering about it as that of in Hinduism. You can find, I will just prove to you. Here we have in time span Chatur Yugas. It's called four Yuga. The Satya Yuga or Krita Yuga has 17 lakh 28,000 years. That's oldest. Then you have the Treta Yuga, which is 12 lakhs 96,000 years. And then you have the Dwapara Yuga, which is 8 lakhs 64,000 years. And then you have the Kali Yuga, the present Kali Yuga, which is 4 lakh 32,000 years. And you sum up all these four yugas, you will get 43 lakh 20,000 years. That is, this Kali Yuga is twice that is Dwapara Yuga, 8 lakh 64. Thrice of Kali Yuga is Treta Yuga, which is 12 lakh 96,000 years, and four times the Kali Yuga is the Satya Krita Yuga, which is 17 lakh 28,000 years. And if you add all this, I told you it is 43 lakh 20,000 years. Now, this is one Chaturyuga. 1,000 Chaturyugas make one Kalpam. That is one day of Brahma. So 43 lakh 20,000 years multiplied by 1,000, you will get 432 crores of years. Otherwise, 4.32 billion. Because 100 crores is 1 billion. So you multiply by 100, you will get 432 crores years or 4.32 billion years. That is one day of Brahma. Brahma has one night also. Again, that is 432 crore years or 4.32 billion years. So one day and one night of Brahma equals 8.64 billion years or 864 crore years. And one day of Brahma calculation is exactly that of the age of the sun as per recent astrophysicists belonging to NASA or ISRO or Chinese Physics Academy or whatever it is. The age of the sun is 8.64 billion years or 864 crore years, and almost half the stage we have passed through, and only another 50% is there. Then the sun, because it is less than Chandrasekhar limit, it does not have enough gravity to hold on to it, so that all the gases escape. It bloats out into a big, weaker gas, but absorbs all the Jupiter, our Earth, Venus, Mars, all these planets, and then shrinks and becomes a red hot star or something like that. It fades away. Dead star it becomes. There is no thermonuclear energy there. There is no fusion process there. The sun dies. That's an everyday event. That is an everyday event in the cosmos. Now see the brilliance of our rishis. When they say 1,000 Chatur Yuga is one Kalpa, and one Kalpa is one day of Brahma, and one day and night of one day of Brahma is equal to the age of sun. Very good. Very correct, is it not? Even logically thinking, a day is over for Brahma, the sun is over for us. Then Brahma lives for 100 years. That is, the universe will live for 100 years. That means you multiply it by 365 days or whatever it is, one day into 365.25 days, and into all these things. If you multiply, Brahma live for 100 years. That is 1 year into 100 years. It will be 3 trillion, something more than trillion years. 311 trillion years I have calculated. I have given all these calculations in my book, Search in Sacred Hinduism, which is available in e-Kindle, in Amazon, and also in Google Books in e-format. You can just take out all these calculations in e-format. And this calculation has been appreciated very nicely by none other than Carl Sagan, a very great astrophysics belonging to, I think, Cornell University. And he brought out a beautiful series called The Cosmos in 1980s TV serial about the entire universe, how the universe started with the Big Bang from an infinitely small dot, and how today we are 13.72 billion light years plus or minus 0.59. Therefore, the a light year is the speed of light at 300,000 kilometers per second into 60 seconds into 60 minutes into 24 hours into 365.25 days. That's the length it travels. But Carl Sagan was very much astonished about the way the Hindus had calculated. See, I'm reading from his book. I have read his book called The Cosmos, a very good book, and also Broca's brain. Broca's area is an area inside your brain. A scientist Broca find. Now let us see. That's Broca's brains. What Carl Sagan says in chapter 10 in his book Cosmos, the Hindu religion is the only one of the world's great faiths dedicated to the idea that the cosmos itself undergoes an immense, indeed an infinite, number of deaths and rebirths. It is the only religion which the time scales correspond, no doubt by accident, to those of modern scientific cosmology. Maybe for them it is an accident, but here it's right. Its cycles run from our ordinary day and night and to that day and night of Brahma, which is 8.64 billion years. See beauty. And then he also says, Brahma's life is 100 years. Then he says in his book, Broca's Brain, I do not know how these Hindus calculated one day and night. The night of Brahma is 8.6 billion years, which coincides with the modern scientific estimate of life of our sun, and about half the time since the Big Bang, which is now precisely calculated at 13.82 billion years. And there are much more longer time scales still in Hinduism. That's what he says. His book you can refer. First book is Cosmos. The second book is, I referred, was Broca's Brain. It's an area inside the brain, Broca's Brain. It's a neurological science. So he has labeled it as Broca's brains nicely for cosmology. So that is the beauty of the time scale, which precisely how these ancient Hindu rishis, our rishis calculated, is it not? For us, the day starts at Surya Udayam and sets at Surya Astamam. Normally, that's a day. Not from midnight 12 o'clock to next midnight 12 o'clock. We don't do that. And the night is from Astamanam to the Udayam, again the next morning. But here, I would like to quote from how brilliant the rishis were also. You see, in Atreya Brahmana, verse 3, chapter 3, verse number 44, I shall quote the original verse. I have deciphered and made some anvaya. I shall quote the verse. The verse runs like this. The English meaning is, first, the sun never rises or sets in. Actually, what they say, the exact English translations would be, the sun does never rise or set. When people think that the sun is setting, it is not so. For after having arrived at the end of the day, it makes itself produce two opposite effects, making night to what is below and day to what is on the other side. Then having reached the end of the night, it makes itself produce two opposite effects, making day to what is below and night to what is on the other side. In fact, the sun never sets. Well, this is a beautiful this thing, but slight variations are there. But sun never sets and never rises. That's what. See, I have written down the Sanskrit verse. Sa va eshaha na kadachana. When, not at all, whenever. Kada means when in Sanskrit. Kadachana, whenever, even the least time, the least when time. Astam na udati. Udeti. Udayam udeti. Astam na udeti. Astam udeti na. No astamanam and no udayam. Na kadachana. Never. Tam yet astamam yeti iti manyate. Tam, that which astamam yeti, if you think, manyate, people think. Manyate means is it is a parasmay we have, then atmanepadi we have. This is atmanepadi, rupa. Manyate, thinking, people think. Manyate, anha eva, it is wrong, it is gross miscalculation. It is not. It's her. Her means samharam. It's wrong thinking. Manyate iti chet, it is wrong. Doshaha eva. Samyak nasti, shuddham nasti, satyam nasti iti te vadanti. Tat tam itva ata atmanam viparyasyate. Viparyaya or something like that means viparyaya or viparyasyate means putting upside down. Like this. I put sthalikam viparyaya tatra asti. Means I'm putting this upside bottom, up, down. So viparyasyate ratrim eva avastat. Before. Ratrim before also. Kurute, it does. Kri is a dhatuhu. Karoti is a parasmay padinaha. Kurute is atmanepadi, rupa, that's all. Artha is the same. Kurute, haha, parastat. Parastat, parahastat. If it is so, kurute, aha, parastat atha yet yenam, this, prataha udeti. Prataha, early morning udeti. Prataha udeti iti manyate ratrihi iva. Therefore, there is no ratrihi or prataha iva manyate. Also, what is happening is, when at the end of the night, the opposite effect, it produces an opposite effect, so as the other side becomes this side and this side becomes the other side, meaning viparyaya means rotating here also. The meaning that the sun rotates also here. So that is what you are saying, the day to be night and night to be day. When one is day, the other side is night, and the other side is day, this side is night. Ataha parastat sava yesha na kadachana nimrochati. Kadachana, never it. Nimrochati means setting. It's a Sanskrit beautiful meaning. Nimrochati, setting. Then they go on to say, Sahavai kadachana nimrochat yetasya ha sayujyam sa rupatham sa lokam ashnute is obtained. What is obtained? By the loka, by the salokam. These people think it is sun is setting and sun is rising, and setting is night and rising is the day and all. Sa evam veda, know that. Veda means no. Know that viparyaya karanena, that viparyaya means it is rotating world. The opposite side becomes this side becomes the opposite side. So there is an implied rotation they are referring to. That's what I want to point out. And that is the reason when day is here, night is there. Night is there, day is here. There's nothing called setting. The sun goes down the drain. No. That is what was the belief of the other texts. I'm very clear about it. Our text never believed, never they had said this. See the science behind this. You can see that the sun is spinning is what this side becomes a day, the other side becomes the night, and viparyaya, when it is turning around, viparyaya, this side becomes the night and the other side becomes the day. That is what in the verse 3.44, Atreya Brahmanaha from Rigveda, if you go, you can find out. You can clearly decipher the meaning, do the Anvaya. I have read out to you. See, what does it indicate, and why did Carl Sagan so brilliantly said, though I do not know whether he was a Sanskrit scholar or he would understand Sanskrit, but if he goes deeper into a Sanskrit, more of such things can be culled out. And Viparyaya Arthaha, the whirling round, the going around, and Nimrochati, na Nimrochati does not say, it very clearly says. It is, if you think like that, Lokana manyante che tatu doshaha eva. That's what they are saying very clearly. See, these beauties of the Vedas, especially the Brahmanas, the Aranyakas, the Upanishads, the Sutras, and all, if you analyze, if you start analyzing the Samhitas, basic from the Samhitas you get. I've stated all this is in my book. Several books I have written, but you can see them in the e-Kindle, Amazon's e-Kindle and Google Books e-formats. It is abnormally amazing, not normally amazing, abnormally amazing to analyze the thoughts of these ancients. And then if we had developed on them, we would have been somewhere very great. Because when Einstein gave only a theoretical physics. With that physics, your refrigerator runs, your telephone runs, your motor runs, your air conditioner runs, your car runs, everything. Matter and energy. It's only a theoretical, but it didn't go into the consumer side of a product. We had a lot of theoretical physics in our system, in our Hinduism, in our Vedic texts. But, and some only 1% we have right now. Still some huge percentages are there to be deciphered, and some are huge percentage are missing also. Whatever we have deciphered only 1 or 2%. Somebody has to sit down and decipher it. Slowly think, decipher, and put the meaning, actual meaning, and give their own comments. Okay, my dear friends, the more of this we shall see in the ensuing videos. Till such time, Bhuyat, Tavat, Shubhamangalam. Thank you.